It's time now for Call of the Wild, the official weekly coaches show of the Wenatchee Wild. Stay up to date with your team all season long with Call of the Wild. With head coach and GM Bliss Littler, here's the voice of your Wenatchee Wild, Arch Ecker.
Hello and welcome to Call of the Wild, your weekly Wenatchee Wild coaches show. I'm Arch Ecker alongside Wenatchee Wild head coach and general manager Bliss Littler. Coming off the Thanksgiving week holiday, before we go into recapping the events of the past week, Bliss, I want to ask you, tell me something you're thankful for this holiday season.
That's easy. Great family, healthy kids, and Arch, you coming to work with good people. I mean, it's fun when you get to come with good people, and you know what? I'm glad you're here.
Likewise, I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much for that. Let's go back to the games. We'll start off on Wednesday night. Chilliwack was coming in, a week removed from a tough loss in their building. We had lost, for the first time this season, our possession of first place to Chilliwack. So having an opportunity to face them head-to-head, even though it was on a short rest after a 4-game road trip and just a couple of days off, back to the grind, the guys showed up and they were ready to go.
Thought it was a fun game. No doubt our boys were ready. That again, it's our biggest rival. No doubt we've got a good rivalry with Chilliwack right now, and they're a well-coached team. And no doubt our boys had a little bad taste in their mouth from the week before, even though we did get the win in overtime up in Salmon Arm, but we weren't happy with the other two outcomes, and I think it showed. I think we got back to it, had a little rest on Monday, and light practice Tuesday, but we're ready to go on Wednesday.
Definitely, the team came out on fire, got off to a 2-0 lead, but as can be the case with any worthy adversary, such as Chilliwack is, they battled back and tied it up, but your team responded to that quickly.
Yeah, again, Chilliwack, it doesn't matter that they're going to play hard, and that's what you have when you have a good rivalry. That we got up, they came back, and it looked like we were ready to put them away, and whoa, not so fast. And he's a good hockey game, and a tight one, and a good one for us to win.
You know what's nice is when you get rivalries with teams to where both teams show up and they play with their strength and they play within the constraints of the game rather than wandering off into some of the dark corners of the hockey world, right? And yeah. Chilliwack's that kind of team. I mean, they've got the skill to be able to stand in the ring and just go blow for blow, not literally, but as far as the competition, it's a great compete-level game to watch both directions.
It's a fun game to coach. That's for sure. That again, they do a nice job over there on the coaching side, and their kids compete awful hard, and so all the way around, it's a good environment. That when we play Chilliwack, that I think it brings out the best in both teams. Definitely.
So after that victory, the team earned a day off, and that's something that historically you haven't always done on Thanksgiving.
No, a lot of times, as I'm getting older, maybe a little bit wiser, but the theory used to be days off make you soft. And a lot of times you bring the kids in and you go for a half hour, 45-minute skate in the morning, and they're going to overeat a little bit, but with the amount of hockey we had just played, and what we still had 2 extremely tough games coming up Friday and Saturday, we just felt it was a well-earned day off, and even if they overate a little bit, that would be fine.
Did any of the players in particular respond to you verbally about that decision, saying, God, we thought we were going to have to skate, and thanks for the day off, Coach?
I didn't let them know they had the day off until we got in the locker room, and I gave my post-game talk, and generally at that point we're done, and they have a victory song they sing, and there happened to be quite a few college coaches that were at the game on Wednesday night, and so I really didn't get a chance to talk to them at that point, and I think by the time we got going on Friday, we're already in game mode. So, I know that they're appreciative of it, but I can't say that anybody jumped out of their way and said thanks for that. But they did cheer when I did tell them that, hey, no skate tomorrow.
Well, I think they said thank you the best possible way, and that was with the effort they came out of the gate with on Friday against a tough Vernon team.
Well, we knew Vernon was going to come in here and be a tough out. That again, they're a big, strong team that likes to play physical, and they came in with a good game plan. And it was close, and I was just happy that we were able to convert when we had to on the power play, and we got a shorty, and we got again another real good effort on our part.
We talked about the power play a few times, and it had struggled for a spell there, including that 0 for 9 at West Kelowna a couple weeks ago. And you had always said, I'm not really concerned about it because those things tend to work out, and if we get the chances, eventually they're going to fall. In the 3 games over the Thanksgiving weekend, you had 20 power plays and had 10 power play goals, 50% conversion over the weekend on the homestand. They do start coming your way eventually.
Yeah, and again, we do lead the league by quite a bit in power play goals. It might not be 10, but I bet it's close to 10. That we're the next closest team is 10 power play goals behind us. Even though our percentage isn't first, I look more at the goals than the percentage. And right now that's awful good when you can go 10 for 20. That's obviously real good. But for the most part on the power play, you're looking to create opportunities. And if you create opportunities, that more times than not, if you're working hard, that the goals are going to come.
Well, the team has proven themselves to very much be an offensive juggernaut, not only leading the league in power play goals, but in goals overall. With nearly 150-ish goals on the season, there's a handful of teams, maybe almost half, that don't even have 100 yet. So you're definitely having no trouble putting the puck in the back of the net. Charlie Combs is one of the guys that's really been remarkable in that regard. 30 goals already this season.
That's a crazy number, 30 goals.
At Thanksgiving, 30 goals.
We haven't hit the 1st of December yet, but let's hope he doesn't cool off. Again, we have a lot of guys that are shooting the puck well, and he's definitely leading the way in that category. And we've talked about him plenty of times on this show that he's got special hands and got such a quick release that I think he surprised a lot of goaltenders with how quickly he gets rid of the puck.
One of the things that's really helped him grow is as he's paid attention to his body over the years. He scored the shorthanded goal by breaking up a cross blue line pass and took off on a shorthanded breakaway. 2 years ago, maybe he doesn't make that play.
He might not. He might not. I think he'd be the first to tell you that he's in much better shape this year than he has been the past couple of years. But I think he's in real good shape right now. He's playing hard. He's in a good spot physically, and a really good spot mentally.
So the Wild ended up with a 4-1 victory over Vernon. Then the final night of a long stretch of games in a short spell. But a lot to get fired up about with West Kelowna coming in. They're the defending RBC champions, and they had just beaten you a week before in their building. And so the guys were certainly ready to rock and roll, and they unloaded. There were some that may have thought, guys might be a little tired. It's the last game. It's been a long week. Who knows how it's going to play out? They didn't look tired at all.
Well, we did Saturday morning for the pregame skate. That I actually asked, said, "Hey guys, what's going on? What's wrong?" And Chris Jones said, "Hey coach, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just a little tired." And it was our 7th game in 10 days. But you know what? I think some of our guys thought that West Kelowna celebrated a little bit hard in their building. Where we thought we outplayed them badly, and it was just one of those nights that the puck had eyes for them and got to the back of our net, and we thought they celebrated a little bit hard, and I don't think it sat very well with some of our guys. And no doubt our guys were ready, and again, they had something to say about that.
Well, it was a nice win for the franchise against West Kelowna. It was their first time beating the Warriors in 4 times head-to-head all time. But what a landmark night. So many landmarks were reached that night. It was the 300th franchise win. It was the 150th win on home ice for the franchise here at Town Toyota Center. And for you personally, 150 wins at the helm of the Wild. So it's interesting that all three of those things would come to pass on one single night.
Yeah, that is. It's on for you, being you write all the stories. It's nice that you got to include them in one shot instead
I'd like to spread them out, rather, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so no, it's good. I mean, I think it just goes to show that the Wild have been good for a long time. I mean, 300 wins, and it also shows you that it's been good at home and on the road. And with me, it's just we've had lots of good players over the 4+ years I've been here.
Well, coming up this week, the Wild will play their 500th game in franchise history. That's happening Thursday night when Surrey comes to town. We'll talk about that series coming up and some of the promotions this weekend in just a couple of moments. This is your Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. And welcome back once again to Call of the Wild. It's your weekly Wenatchee Wild coaches show. Arch Ecker alongside Bliss Littler, the head coach and GM of your Wenatchee Wild. So, this Thursday night, the 500th game in franchise history. This franchise has been through a lot. It was born in the year 2008, came here, set up shop in the Valley in this beautiful facility, went through a relocation, a re-relocation, new ownership. It's been through 3 head coaches. It's been through over 200 players that have worn the Wild crest. Through all of that, the identity and the culture of Wenatchee Wild hockey is stronger than ever.
Oh, I think so. The one thing the program's had, it's always had very good players. That there's just been a lot of really good hockey players that have come through here, and again, I think they've been fortunate. I think with Paul Baxter, John Buchanan, that program started in really good hands with 2 really good coaches. That there's one, I guess, common denominator that a guy that doesn't get a lot of credit, but Chris Clark's been here for every single one of those games. Clarkie, I always call him that he's our MVP, that he does everything. He does a great job with the goalies. He's great with recruiting and does a good job with practice, the administrative stuff. He's outstanding. Where he's had a whole bunch to do with the success that this program's had. And then you need to, obviously, when David and Lisa White bought the team a little over 4.5 years ago, I don't think it's ever been on more solid footing right now. That with their leadership, moving the team to the British Columbia Hockey League, I don't think it's ever been in a better place that way. And again, I'm really excited where this organization's going in the future.
You know, one other individual that's seen it all through the 9th year of Wild hockey is Pepe Sandoval. And, people recognize Pepe because they see him around all the time. But help folks understand the importance of what he brings.
Well, he helps on the athletic training side for one thing, and he does all the equipment, and there's just so much that he does behind the scenes to make the players' lives better. That a lot of times there's the players are good about saying thank you to him, but it's a job that he does, that he loves to be part of the team. And I always say that if you don't like Pepe, it's probably you, because he's one of the nicest and most respected people that I know.
I think he's one of those guys that has one of those positions that you really notice him when he's not there. When a guy pops a rivet or snaps a blade or something happens, he always makes it so seamless to where you don't even really notice it. But if he wasn't there, maybe a guy misses half a period.
Yeah, that's just exactly it. And the players have great comfort and confidence in having Pepe around. That, like you say, whether it's fixing a piece of equipment, laundry, or helping Drew on the athletic training side. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he's a great team guy.
The laundry, that's the most unseen and underappreciated part of what they have to contribute, because, I mean, for the guys to have fresh laundry to put on the next day, it goes so far. I mean, you feel good, play good, right?
No doubt.
And it's thankless, because that's after everybody's done, the game's done, the guys tap their sticks, and the fans go home or go to Applebee's or go wherever they're going afterwards, and there's Pepe down there doing laundry, so the guys are set the next day.
Pepe and Drew and the staff, everybody helps out with that kind of stuff. But there's a lot that goes into a game, a lot more than you think. That you're right. When everybody goes home Friday night, there's a whole bunch of work to be done to have everything ready for practice Saturday morning, and then once you're done with practice, you have to get yourself ready to play a game Saturday night. And the guys behind the scenes, they're so valuable, and they're worth several wins a year just by when the players walk in the locker room, to have the locker room taken care of, set up right, and when you need a piece of equipment, that everything's handled in a professional manner. That those guys are definitely worth their weight.
So for the Wild, playing their 500th game on Thursday night, a winning percentage of .649 over those 500 games. That's a pretty lofty number.
That's very, very respectable. I don't know how many programs would be much better than that, but again, like I said, the key here, I think, is you've always had really good hockey players. That it doesn't matter if you look back to year 1 or year 6, year 9. That we've been very fortunate to have a lot of very talented hockey players here.
Thursday night is the canned food drive. That's part of the BCHL league-wide 5-hole for food challenge. So anyone that brings a non-perishable food item to the game is entitled to buy one, get one free tickets for Thursday night's game. And then Friday is the teddy bear toss, and that's something that we've done year after year. And talk about how special that night can be.
Well, it's one of the fun nights, and I mean, as a coach, you always want to score right away and get those bears out on the ice, and so fans don't have to hold them the whole game. But once you see that first one come flying over the glass, and you kind of, as a coach, you lean back against the glass so you don't get hit with any. But it's pretty impressive when you fill up 2 or 3 trucks full of teddy bears, and what a great cause. And this time of year with the holidays coming up, that it's a pretty feel good moment.
How much does it mean to the players for the guy to be the guy that makes it rain teddy bears?
Oh, you know what? There's probably a little internal competition there, but that's one of the things they generally don't include me on.
Sounds good. That's going to be a great weekend. You got the Surrey Eagles making their first visit of the year to our facility. We've played them twice there, beat them in overtime. AJ Vanderbeek had the game winner there, and then the next time we went there, kind of ran into a brick wall, got beat 6-1. So certainly playing them on our ice surface should be a little bit different story.
Well, again, we're excited to have them here, and our guys, I think our guys will be ready to play. I know that they've sent some tweets out that our guys are well aware of, and I think our guys will be ready to go.
How does our ice surface, being more of a regulation NHL size, benefit the Wild as opposed to playing on the wider sheet that Surrey has?
Well, I think it's a big benefit to Surrey because they play on it, they practice every day on it, and they play their home games on it, and we play 3 games or 4 games there a year. So,
well, say more about the benefit of playing on our ice instead of theirs.
Yeah, I just think that coming here that. We play on this all the time, other than the 3 or 4 games there and the 1 game in the bathtub over in Merritt that's really tiny. So other than that, you're used to playing on a rink that's regulation size, and so again, it fits us right now. Again, it's what we do, and we're built to play a quick game, and I think regulation ice suits us fine.
Surrey's a team that got off to a pretty slow start. They were kind of at the bottom of the heap for a while. They've had a bit of a resurgence of late, and they're playing some pretty good hockey. And you've said since before we even played them the first time that they're a pretty good-looking hockey team. They've got some speed.
No doubt. They might be one of the they're in the probably top 4, top 5 as far as quickness. They're a pretty quick hockey club, and they definitely have a handful of playmakers that you turn the puck over, you give them an opportunity, they know what to do with it, and their goaltenders play pretty well for them. So they're definitely a team that's trending in the right direction.
Well, they'll be here on Thursday and Friday night. The Wild against the Surrey Eagles, wrapping up a 5-game homestand. Once again, Thursday night is the canned food drive. Bring an non-perishable food item, get a buy one, get one free ticket. And then Friday night, the teddy bear toss. If you don't get a chance to pick up a stuffed animal on the way in, I understand there'll be some here that'll be available as well. So make sure you show up and participate in that. It's one of the great nights of the year as the Wild wrap up a 5-game homestand. They've been perfect so far at Town Toyota Center this year. Looking to continue that throughout this weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week. This is your Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
You've been listening to Call of the Wild, the official weekly coaches show of the Wenatchee Wild, a presentation of the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.